Mr. Governor Gavin Newsom says that the entertainment industry workers, which obviously make up a decent part of California when you understand Hollywood. But catch this, or check this. The entertainment industry workers, they just so happen to be completely exempt from the new Modelo virus restrictions. Ain't that something? I'm actually reading an article from Daily Wire, actually. It says Governor Gavin Newsom on Thursday announced a new round of stay-at-home orders for the Golden State, which state that non-essential work, movement, and gatherings stop between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. in counties in the purple tier. Nearly every county in California is currently in the purple tier, accounting for 94% of the state's population. Deadline reported that Newsom's office said Thursday that the order would not apply to workers in the entertainment industry, saying those workers were deemed essential. Wow. If I was in California, I'd be pissed and flipping tables. But it says the original order included a list of essential critical infrastructure workers to help the state, local, tribal, and industry partners as they work to protect communities while ensuring continuity of the functions critical to public health and safety, as well as economic and national security. As Deadline reported, on that list of exemptions under industrial, commercial, residential, and sheltering facilities and services, there is essential worker designation 15, which reads, and they quote, workers supporting the entertainment industries, studios, and other related establishments, provided they follow COVID-19 public health guidance around physical distancing. The guidance does indicate this exemption only applies if remote work is not possible, which is for most of it. When you consider film and TV, most of it's not possible, only the editorial part at best. So virtually they could continue as what they were doing. But the film and TV production is often not, like I just said. Film and TV production employees were not included on the essential workers during California's shutdown in March. Their addition to the list speaks to the success and strong protocols on set since then. The document was last updated September 22nd. Well, that has absolutely nothing to do with the deadline. Success, and imagine that. So the writer over at Deadline thought to add, well, their addition to the list, of course, the only reason that their addition is there is because they had success and these strong protocols that were set since then. No, they were up in terms of the priority because, well, from an economic standpoint, they bring in some dough, but that's the elites. That's their breadwinner, right? You can't derail that. Instead, you can't go to the gym. You can't go to church. You can't do all of those sorts of things. Those aren't essential. But entertaining, doing TV and film, that's essential. The elites, they get to continue on making their bread. You, on the other hand, you must stop. There are so many things to pick apart from this. I guess the most prominent and the most obvious is how, when it comes to the complete arbitrary nature of the restrictions, right? Hey, 10 p.m., you can't catch the virus. Or rather, no, excuse me. You can't catch the virus prior to 10 p.m. Once 10 p.m.'s hit, that's when the Modelo viruses come out at night. It's when the freaks come out at night. So if you shut down at 10, that somehow stops something. But the thing is, and you know, I hate to be right about stuff like this, but it goes to show that I am right, and that they're playing with you guys' lives, right? They're playing with your lives and they think the shit's funny. They'll make exceptions. Again, we talked about the biggest transfer of wealth in recent modern history when you consider how smaller businesses have been utterly derailed. And the bigger ones have been allowed to operate in some capacity. This is another example of that. So the economic elites, right, that are already there, they get to continue as planned with whatever slight restrictions that they may have, but they at least get to work. Whereas to you must shut down at a certain hour. It's all bull crap. That's why I said this doesn't end until mass forms of civil disobedience. And you're starting to see some of that with some businesses where they're just saying whatever, like, we're done with this shit. Like, that's it. Right. And I tried to be as upfront and ahead of this as much as I possibly could be. I did. I tried to be ahead of this because I wanted people to understand that you cannot, it's actually when you're scared, when you feel like there is a threat, when you must hold the line in regards to freedom. Though that's the most difficult time, that's the most important time to do it, because that's when they're going to pull out all the stops and try to pass everything it is that they want to pass. Every executive order. But it worked, of course. Unfortunately, people didn't listen to me back in March, and there were some people, some of you guys that are in the chat, who were all on me because I was be like, don't lock everything down. And you would say stupid shit like, well, it's just 15 days to slow the spread. What's the big deal? Well, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. And you're gullible. And it's okay to admit that. And maybe you'll listen to me next time. Now it's too late. But there's no such thing as temporary when it comes to these guys. Right? And once they got you by the nutsack, they got you. That's it. And we've had this extended upon over a 9-month period and in counting. Right? Because they were never going to let go of that power. They were never going to stop muddying up the market. That was never on the table. But you were foolish enough to think, because you were scared and you thought that this threat was real, that was worth sacrificing. And like I have said time and time again, I was saying it back in March, that's when you hold the line. You don't give up liberty, or you never had absolute liberty anyway in America, but what you think is remaining of it, you don't give it up because you're scared or you think that something is a threat. That is when you especially hold the line and you say, no, we're going to allow free individuals to be free individuals. But that's not what you did. You gave them the power. You bent over, you took it because you were scared, and now look at what we're dealing with. All of the metrics were incorrect. Everything that they tried to identify would happen did not happen, and everything that they said would fix the issue did not resolve the issue. And like I said last show, there's no consequences to them being wrong. And now they're playing with your lives here in California, where they have the elites that are part of the entertainment elite. They get to continue doing what it is that they were doing. You, on the other hand, as a business owner, gym owner, or whatever it is, no, dog, you got to shut down. They're essential. You're not. So I'm sorry. And this is why it's so easily and you knew this was going to happen, right? I hope you did. Yes, the entertainment industry has taken a loss in a lot of cases. But those really, really uber economic elites, it was always going to be very, very, very easy for them to, like the entertainment elites, it's going to be very easy for them to be like, yeah, stay at home. Don't move. Cover your face at all times. You know why? Because the exemptions are already supplied to them, and they knew that. You are the peasant. Those rules apply to you. Them, they get their lawyers involved. They get whoever they need to be involved to work around all of that shit. You, on the other hand, you don't got access to that. And I want to be very clear. I'm not against them working by any means. What I'm against is the hypocrisy and not allowing or essentially making it illegal for other people to work. That's what pisses me off. But hopefully, if anything, if nothing else, you learn that you don't concede any sort of power like that, especially when you're scared. Because that I can make the argument definitely in recent years. Paycheck, what happened with 9/11. Like, it's when you're scared. It's when you feel like there's a threat, when the most egregious policies are passed or enforced, because that's when they find you as vulnerable. And it's very difficult, for whatever reason, for a lot of folks who value freedom to say, you know what? No. Instead, it's like, well, it'll just be temporary. No, it won't. And as you can see, it was not.